Assalamu alaikum, welcome and karibuni to Aroma Zanzibar's kitchen. Today we're going to make this beautiful, very soft yeast donuts. So I'm using about 1 cup of lukewarm milk. You can mix it with water if you wish so. And 2 eggs that are in room temperature. 2 1/4 teaspoon of instant yeast, that's about 7 grams of 1 packet. And 1/4 cup of sugar, that's about 50 grams. A pinch of salt and a little bit of vanilla. It's optional. Just gonna mix it well to combine. Make sure that you have broken down the eggs. Okay, and I've got sifted here about 4 cups of all-purpose flour. That's about 490 grams. You could go up to 500 grams. Just make sure that your dough is soft. All right, so we're just gonna start mixing. I've got a batter right now. And then I'm just gonna add the rest of the flour. Just gonna combine it. And I'm not going to knead the dough at this point. You're just gonna put it together. Then after that, just cover it and let it rest for about 20 minutes. Alright, so we're just gonna cover it, and after 20 minutes now we're ready to knead the dough. Now you can continue in the same bowl, or if you have a stand mixer you can do that, or you can move it to a flat surface. And I've got some soft butter here, that's about half a cup. Just gonna spread it and then gonna fold it in and then knead the dough. So just gonna knead this dough for about 10 minutes until it's very nice and firm and also a little bit sticky. Alright, so the dough is ready. As you can see, it's very nice and it's also very soft. And we're gonna cover it and let it sit for about 1 hour or until it doubles in volume. So I'm going to put it in a bowl, and I've got some oil there just to allow the dough to rise easily without sticking at the side of the bowl. Alright, so mine took about 50 minutes to rise. It could take up to 1.5 hours depending on how warm your kitchen is. So we're gonna dust the surface. Please make sure that you put enough flour, because you don't want the dough to stick at the bottom and have shapeless donuts like mine. And also please make sure you have your surface is large enough. This area doesn't have enough room, but I like to use this corner because it has good natural light for my videos. So I'm going to roll the slab into 1/2 inch thickness. And with this recipe, you should be able to get about 20 to 24 donuts, depending on the size of the cutter that you're going to use. You can use a cup or a glass or a cookie cutter. And for the inner circle, that's the donut hole, they have, the vanilla bottles, or even some sort of juice bottles have the top. You can use that. All right. So I'm just gonna remove the outer part of the dough, and I'm keeping it in the fridge, and I'm gonna roll it out later for the second time. So you can do this 2 ways. You can get your tray with a flour and place your donuts there, but I like to do the other way, which is using the parchment paper or the wax paper. I'm using the wax paper because it's cheap. And we're just going to place our donuts here. The reason why we do this, because these are very, very light and airy. So once they have risen, you don't want to deflate the air that we have created. So we're just going to put them like that and cover them and let them rise for the second time. All right, this took about 45 minutes. And you can see they're very nice and fluffy. And once the oil is ready, my oil is about 340 degrees Fahrenheit. I don't like it too hot. And we're just going to place the donuts with the wax paper or parchment paper if you're going to use. I'm just going to remove it. So this prevents it from deflating the air. And I also like to do this way because my oil does not get that extra flour and becomes dark. All right. So make sure that the heat is on medium, so that way you have nice and light colored donuts like this. All right. It takes about 4 minutes to fry these on each side. And once they're ready, what I normally do is I turn off the heat so it doesn't become too hot before I place the second batch of the donuts. Now I'm going to make the glaze, and I'm using 1 cup of powdered sugar. And I'm going to start with a tablespoon of water. You can use milk as well. Now you can make this glaze as thick as you want or as thin as you want. I like mine thin, so I used about 3 tablespoons of water to get the consistency that I'm looking for. And a little bit of vanilla, which is totally optional. Just going to mix it well. Now remember, when you do a thick glaze, it's going to take a while to set. All right, mine is thin. It's going to take about 10 minutes for the glaze to dry. So now we're ready to glaze the donuts. You can glaze them, you can just dip and do half a donut, but we like, or my kids like, fully glazed donuts. So I'm just gonna put the whole donut in there. You can use a fork if you want, but I like it this way. Just gonna shake the excess and keep it to dry. Like I mentioned, if your glaze is thick, it's gonna take longer to dry. All right. Now for the rest of the donuts, I just wanted to share with you, you can do sugar donuts, but make sure that they are hot. So I've got my sugar here with some cinnamon and nutmeg. So my donuts are not hot because I did the glaze first. So if you want to do this step, make sure that your donuts are hot. As soon as you get them out from the oil, you're going to roll them out in the sugar, so that way the sugar will coat easily and faster, so you won't take too much time. So while you're here, please do not forget to visit the description box to get the ingredients and all the measurements, so you can make this beautiful and fluffy donuts, and also get your cup of tea or coffee, and just like that, if you enjoy your donuts like that. And you can cover this very well and they can stay up to the next day. You see how beautiful our glazed donuts are. So thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate your support, and I wish you a wonderful day. Thank you.